So I'm getting a little later than normal start. It's a little after, it's about 8:30. But I got a night's sleep in a little inn at White Pass. And got a little warm breakfast. So I'm shooting for about a 26-mile day today. And you can see the sun behind me, blue skies out, very different than yesterday. Got a little creek crossing here. Looks like we might be walking across that little log bridge, which might be, I don't know. Well, I'm going to give this one a shot. It looks like there might be a little log bridge over there in the middle. We'll see how this one goes. Let's see. Oh, that rock was a little loose. Okay. Alright, so a little wet on my left foot. I might get a little wet on the right here. Not bad. Yeah. Alright, got a bit of a stretch here. Not too bad. Yeah, not bad. I'll stop here for lunch, get some water. Yeah, it's about 1:15. Mile 2016 and a half. Coming up on another new vista. Climbed up from lunch for a couple of 1,000 feet, heading that way, but just another gorgeous view. It's overcast, but it's warm enough as I've increased in elevation. It's gotten warmer. The dew point has lifted elevations, so I'm not walking in fog, but I have for some of today. But another beautiful, typical Washington gray day. 3 miles or so outside of camp, where I camp at Dewey Lakes. I got this cool bridge. You can see this is West 410. Yeah, cool bridge. Mount Rainier National Park. Let me get a little closer. Now you can see Mount Rainier National Park entrance. So just came over the top there, down by that little pass. That is where the bridge I walked over, Highway 140, is it? Anyway, into Mount Rainier. Climbed switchbacks up here, and we've got another little upper pass with a new view. I'm going to be heading down here, and I think up over there, another pass over there. Come up on New Vista at mile 2331. And sure enough, I came over a little pass there. Gonna be walking down that away. I think going over another pass. But 2331. So for those of you doing the math, there's the whole trail is 2,655. So I am a little more than 300 miles away from the Canadian border endpoint, but I've got to do a U-turn there for 30 miles to get back to civilization at Hart's Pass. So tomorrow I should get to the 300-mile left point. So feeling pretty good about that. The last couple 3 days I've been leapfrogging with a group of 20 and 30 somethings that they humiliate me every day. They can get up later than I can. They can stop and take breaks and get to camp before I do. So what we end up doing is passing each other on the trail. So they race past me, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 times a day, just to remind the old man there are young legs out there. But I'm doing it, and I really feel good about doing it. It's tough. Those climbs, I'm climbing slower than I used to, but I'm doing the miles and getting her done. So this is just another reminder how important water is along the trail. There's been some dry sections in Washington that are maybe only a 8 to 10 mile water carry. But you want to carry as little water as possible because water's heavy. And this last carry was a little over, it's about 10 miles, something like that. Yeah, about 10 miles. Anyway, And I just wanted to show you an example, just from another example of a water source that in regular life you would never consider drinking from there. Well, now that we've got filters that take out all of the bad impurities and Giardia and stuff like that, even a water source like that, that's kind of just a little trickle, super important. So I collected that and collected a couple of liters, and I'm going to carry those to camp, which is about 5.2 miles from here. We're just about a mile and a half out of camp, and this is the first sighting I've had of Mount Rainier. Last few days mostly been overcast, so there it is. So these are salmon berries. They are milder tasting than blackberries, but there's just another example of berries you can forage along the way. That one is a particularly good one. Just out of camp about 2 miles, something like that. Coming up on this random backcountry road, and look what I find. Oh, look at that. Some trail magic. So I think I'm going to have a Coke. So today I'll be walking into Snoqualmie. It's a little over 20 miles, 4,000 feet of elevation gain, about 4,800 loss. So a net downhill, but 4,000 feet's not an insignificant amount of elevation gain. I'm enjoying an early lunch. It's about a little after 11, and enjoying it with this gorgeous view of Mirror Lake. Yeah, nice little spot. A little less than 9 miles away from the intersection that'll take me into Snoqualmie Pass, and where I'll be staying the night. So probably about maybe a 3.5 hour walk out from here. It's about a 1,200 foot elevation gain and about 1,800 foot loss. So mostly downhill, but that'll be about 1,200 feet up. So just relaxing. So that is the freeway going through Snoqualmie Pass. And tomorrow or the next day, depending on whether I zero tomorrow or actually go through past Snoqualmie Pass tomorrow, I'm going to be confronted with those rocks up ahead. So the Snoqualmie Pass to Stevens Pass is a tough section, and daily mileage definitely goes down. So I'm going to have to readjust my thinking about how far I can go for the next couple of segments in Washington. We're at mile 23, 95.2, a little over a mile from the Snoqualmie Pass, and you can now get an even better view of the mountains above Snoqualmie Pass.